What's good in the hoodie? Welcome back, guys. It's Madame Joyce's After Hours. Grab a drink, grab a coffee. It's in the morning. Grab a cocktail if it's in the evening. Do you know what? Yeah, time is a social construct. If you want to have a cocktail in the morning, why not? The only time it really makes sense to have a cocktail in the morning is like when you're on your way to somewhere. To a different country in the airport and you have a mimosa or something. But who says that we can't have cocktails at 8 a.m. in the morning and drink alcohol? I'm not suggesting that, by the way. Just don't do that. Anyways, guys, how are you? Happy Pancake Tuesday. Guys, as I'm recording this, I'm already planning on breaking my fast with the biggest bombuckler blueberry pancake type of delicious dessert when I finish today. If you guys don't know, I'm currently fasting. It's fasting period. I'm feeling honestly so amazing. Number one. Number two, I've just started my period. So I'm not going to be breaking too late. I'm going to be breaking at like 3 o'clock. You're not really supposed to be fasting whilst you're on your period, but I didn't want to not do my first day. I wanted to make sure I hit the first day hard. So hope you are well. Is my vagina throbbing? Yes. Am I emotionally strong? Yes. Is this a good Pancake Tuesday? Absolutely, guys. Let's get straight into Tea Tuesdays. Right. I think I'm destined to be the other woman. No man has ever pursued me for a relationship. Men only want to sleep with me, that's it. I don't think any man wants to claim me as their girlfriend or wife. And I can't say I blame them. I'm not a good catch. I'm not very attractive and I have mental issues. I don't think I'll ever find the right one to marry. I still have a silver of hope, but that's all I have. Guys, if we can pray against anything this fasting period, yeah, whilst I'm here, please pray against insecurity. I feel like we talk about insecurity in a sense of sympathy, but we don't really talk about insecurity in its destructive nature. Being insecure is a very destructive thing to have in your life. I just want to chat GBT what insecurity means, yeah. Being insecure means not confident or not feeling safe or certain. It can describe feelings, situations, or system depending on the content. So in emotional or personal, it's feeling insecure of yourself, anxious, or lacking confidence. Now, we go through phases in our lives where we don't feel confident about ourselves. But I feel like when insecurity manifests, it starts to tell you not even how you feel about yourself, but how the world feels about you. So it stops from, oh, I'm feeling insecure or I don't feel good about myself to this person feels this way about me. And that's a lie. That's how you feel about yourself. And you are now projecting it into the outside world, projecting it into relationships, projecting it into your workplace. So you feel underqualified and unworthy of stuff that you have every right to attain and you are qualified to attain those things. But there's a voice in your head telling you that you can't attain those things. Insecurity is so dangerous because if you look at your inner being, your inner environment as a incubator, whatever you feel about yourself for a long period of time, it incubates, it grows, and it manifests. If you feel like you are not going to be married or you don't feel good enough to be married or good enough to be chosen, baby girl, you will never be chosen. If you feel in yourself that you are not attractive and you are not sexy and guys do not desire you, you will never find a guy that desires you. Because let me tell you why. The ones that do desire you and the guys that do want to marry you, you'll chase them away because your brain will say that's impossible. You've already told yourself it's not going to happen. So if that guy now comes into your space saying that he wants to marry you and he loves you, your brain can't function that. Your brain can't process that. Your brain will tell you it's a lie. It will tell you run away. It will tell you, no, he's lying. It will because you can't believe, you have taught yourself to not believe that these things can be true for you. It is so dangerous. Those insecurities, those feelings that you have about yourself will determine how you operate everywhere in life. I was very insecure. I was ragingly insecure. Let me tell you a story. I told you at school that I was using bleach for my face and I was rubbing bleach on my face and I was so insecure about my dark skin. Like society had knocked my self-esteem down. Guess what I started doing? I started faking confidence. So I would tell people, yeah, I'm sexy as a joke. People would laugh at me. Oh my God, I'm so sexy. Yeah, you can't chat to me. I could take your man. What? And that was the punchline. It was supposed to be funny. But I didn't know that I was speaking into my life. I was speaking into my existence and my being. I was telling myself, yes, I am confident. I was telling myself, yes, I am sexy. Yes, I was telling myself, I am a millionaire. I remember when I used to work in a care home and be like, yeah, I'm not going to be here for long. I'm a millionaire. I didn't feel like it. I didn't have the money like it, but I walked in that existence. I spoke to myself, even when I didn't feel like it. You guys need to be so careful what you are telling yourself, what you are telling your being, what you are waking up telling yourself and speaking into your life. It is so dangerous. And yes, I sympathize with those who are insecure, but you guys should start looking at insecurity as a weapon against your full potential that the enemy is using against you. The voices in your head, the eternal monologue that you have of yourself will make or break your life. And I will tell you this now. If you do not believe me, look at your life now and look at the things that you say to yourself. Do they correlate? Do they correlate? There are so many Black, white, Asian, beautiful women who have been knocked down by society. I agree. A lot of us have been really battered and bruised by what people have said to us, what our family have said to us, beauty societies. We really, really struggle. But you determine. Let me tell you something. I'm going to go into a rant here. I do not listen to what society or what people say about me. Before I used to. When people were telling me, oh yeah, as a Black woman, it's harder to navigate in relationships. Oh, as a Black woman, we're less susceptible to being married. We're less susceptible to be as a Black woman. I refuse to let that be my story. I'm not listening to what social media is telling me about my life. If you want to get married, you will get married. If you want to be the sexiest girl on the block, bruv, who can tell you that you can't be? It is what you speak into your life that is the seed to how your life ends up being. Fact of the matter. So, baby girl that had this confession, I don't like what you said about yourself. I need you to change what you said about yourself. And I need you to understand that if whatever you want in your life is dependent on the things that you say to yourself when nobody is watching. Sister drama. I find myself in a complicated and difficult situation that has strained my relationship with my sister. I recently slept with her husband and now she refuses to speak to me. However, I generally believe I'm not solely to blame for the fallout and need an impartial judgment on whether I am in the situation. Prior to the incident, I noticed some questionable behavior from my brother-in-law towards me. Feeling concerned about my sister's well-being, I decided to address the issue with her. However, she dismissed my concerns, leaving me unsure how to proceed. My sister worked as a flight attendant and is gone more than she is at home. My brother-in-law recently lost his job and was feeling depressed. During one of her frequent absences from home, she asked me to keep her husband company. She trusted me and didn't believe the warnings that I gave her before about his behavior towards me. But I saw this as an opportunity to support their marriage and help them rebuild their connection. Unfortunately, as we spent more time together, our bond deepened and we eventually crossed the line that should have never been crossed. We had both been drinking and he was complaining to me about the troubles in their marriage and how he hasn't been for a while. He was crying and I decided to confront him. One thing led to another and we did the unthinkable. I realized the nature of what I did and immediately realized that we had been so intoxicated and that we stupidly ended up falling asleep. I woke up to my sister screaming and hitting both of us screaming, "How could you do this to me? We're sisters, I trusted you." She wouldn't even give me a chance to explain and kicks me out of the house. Now my sister refuses to speak to me. She's filed for divorce. Our parents are siding with her, saying that I violated every family moral. However, I believe that there are multiple factors that, why are you even defending yourself? I don't even care to even finish this. You slept with your sister's man. There is nothing in this world, there's nothing in this planet that can excuse that sort of behavior. And you know, one group of people I really dislike? I hate people that lack accountability. Not once, my issue is, not once in this message have you held accountability and said, listen, I messed up. You're still talking about, but yeah, it's my fault. It's not my fault. It's half my fault. But the thing is, it's also, how dare you blame your sister and say to me that she is a part of fault here because she didn't listen to you when you said that her man was making advances towards you. That is in itself is so horrible that you cannot take responsibility for your actions, so much so that you have to blame your sister so that you feel better about yourself. That is horrible. That is gaslighty behavior, and you are the biggest that I've seen this morning thus far. Terrible. And it's like, I just don't get it. We are very responsible for our emotions, our actions. Before it even got to you slept with the man, you made the decision to drink with him, previously knowing how he felt about you. Bearing in mind that, yes, the sister didn't listen to you, but you knew that the man was making advances toward you that was inappropriate to his marriage. But still yet, you decided to sit down and cross your leg and be drinking wine. And then now you're saying, oh, but we slipped and fell. And then now he slips into my hole. And then he started riding me. And then now I don't know what to do. Sorry, you need to chop your L. There's consequences to action, family or no family. It's good that she burnt your bridge. Sorry to say. Right, so this conversation came off the back of the conversation that we had in the previous episode. Shout out to you, girl. And as a Black woman, I feel like it's a crime to say this, but I hate this mess on top of my head. I hate trying to comb it and detangle it. It's absolutely... I don't know why, but I despise going to the hair salon. I hate sitting in that chair for hours, and I hate to sleep with my head in my hands to maintain it. I hate dealing with it. It's why I'm always reaching for the scissors. How do I learn to fall in love with my hair? It's been a struggle for me for many, many years. So this is something that I have had to learn over the years. I absolutely have had a very, very interesting experience with my hair. I've struggled with my identity in my hair. I guess it really stemmed from the fact that I was never taught how to really look after my hair. When I was younger, it was all about relaxers. It was all about braids and waves and everything that covers your hair. It was never anything that embraced your natural hair. So I think a lot of us are dealing with things that have been conditioned into us over the years. And you know, I don't want to blame our parents because they didn't know any better. But I feel like the first step to loving your hair is unlearning what you've learnt about it, which is that it's unkept when it's in its natural state. It's hard to maintain. It's this, it's that. Because the reality is, you wouldn't just cut off your arm or cut off your leg. And I feel like we need to grow into that level of love for our hair where it feels like a limb of ours. I was watching America's Next Top Model yesterday, but one thing I noticed is that when it comes to white women, they have such a natural attachment to their hair that even when people cut their hair, they start crying. And I've always wondered, like, why is it when white people get their hair cut, they start bawling? They start like they're in distraught. Like some of them, they can't even imagine putting scissors to their hair. But they've been taught that a hair is a part of their beauty. Your hair is a part of your identity. So cutting that off is almost like a loss of self. And I feel like that's the level of which we as Black women need to get to for our hair. And you can do things like just having a wash day or like having a routine. First of all, I promise, it's so funny because I've cut my hair now, but they got to a stage where I promised I would never cut my hair again just because. I cut my hair now because it's a style, but before I used to cut my hair because it was a nuisance. I swear to you, I used to cut my hair because it made my wigs look flat. And sometimes I couldn't be bothered to do a cane roll. So it's like, I might as well just shave it. My relationship, my hair was bad. Like, I did not mind grazing it with a scissors so that hair that didn't belong to me could sit well. It was awful. Now I'm at the stage where I just don't be cutting my hair anyhow. I love styling my natural hair. I love the style that it's in right now, and I'm still trying to figure out my love for my hair. But yeah, generally having a day, promising that you're not just gonna cut your hair anyhow, following other influencers and social media personalities that embrace natural 4C hair and rock different styles with it as well has been really, really helpful. And yeah, it's still something that I'm learning, but I definitely don't hate my hair anymore. And I definitely feel like it's a part of me, and it's a part of my beauty. And I still feel sexy wearing my natural hair. I was in love with this guy for 10 months that I finally cut off. My mental health has been in the gutter, and now I realize just how poorly I was treated. He never kept his promises, and I didn't think much of it because I didn't want him to seem like I was too much. But I realized that he wasn't even doing the bare minimum. I'm still brokenhearted and could not stand to see him openly move on with other women, as my feelings didn't matter. So I blocked him everywhere and deleted his number. I know this time was the right decision, but now I'm deep in my feelings. Girl, get up. Girl, you have made one of the best decisions you can possibly make in your life, and that is walking away. Walking away is so difficult, guys, especially when you have given your heart and emotions to one person. It's almost like when you bet your whole emotional being and state into one human being and then they let you down. It's really, really disappointing. I feel like the best way to getting over a guy and getting over a relationship is, first of all, writing down pros and cons. That's the first thing. I feel like logically, when you see things for what it is logically, you're able to switch on your logical brain instead of your emotional brain. We've all been there. Our brain is telling us one thing, our heart is telling us one thing, but I feel like when you actually write it down, it's like, what does this guy actually do for me? What does this guy bring to me? What does this guy not bring to me? I feel like when you actually write it down and you weigh out the options, you can actually see whether someone is worthy of being in your life or not. And again, I don't believe in blocking, but if you need to block somebody for your own peace of mind, and when I mean block them, not block them and then go on your fake account and watch them. I mean block them and make the conscious decision to not speak to them, to not have them in your space. I feel like you should take up the offer, because I feel like the longer you keep yourself away from this person, the longer you start to see things a lot more clearly, the longer you start to understand what actually happened and reflect properly. Once you're in the emotional whirlwind and you are in the presence of the emotional whirlwind by going back and forth with the person, keeping them in your life, having that emotional volatility, you can't really see things clearly. So I would say, for yourself, if you love yourself, please do not text that man. Please just keep in the company of other friends. Find another guy friend or girlfriend to keep you company in the meantime. I believe there's nothing wrong with that. If you've broken up with someone and you need someone to just give you that emotional reassurance, going to that person, I don't feel like it's a bad thing for that moment in time, so that you can get away from that person. I saw a video just this morning. This girl, it was Valentine's, and this guy, he made like a whole balloon, like it was like a balloon, like one of those balloon gesture things in the hotel rooms. Would you call it like it had "I love you, happy Valentine's Day." It had balloons hanging from the ceilings, and it had like pictures of those two hanging from the balloons. So obviously the girlfriend walks in and she's looking around and she's like, well, this is cool, I guess. And the guy's like, what you mean? What you mean? What you mean? And she said, yeah, this is cool. Like, I'm not 15. I'm a grown woman. I don't want balloons and pictures hanging of us on the ceiling. I wanted, you could have put that money together to buy a gift or take us out for dinner, because all we're going to do is look at these balloons, be in the hotel and have sex. It's just nice packaging, sex session. And he got really upset and was like, yeah, but it was the thought that counts. Listen, when you are thinking about me, make sure that your thought process is a deep one. Stop saying it's the thought that counts. Think harder, bro. Think with your whole brain. Think with your hippocampus. If I'm your woman and you're trying to make me happy, make effort. It's really as simple as that. You're not gonna hand me rubbish and then I'm gonna be like, well, because you gave me rubbish, at least you gave me something. Absolutely not. That's what somebody with low self-esteem would say. If I can give myself good things, and if I can look after myself, and if I wouldn't do that for myself, so why would you do that for me? In this situation, the girl's complaining of, who told you I need a book bag? I think it's important for your partner to really make sure that they study you and know what you want. And I feel like girls are so easy. I'm sure the babe has probably dropped hints on what she's wanted. Like, how could you buy a perfume that your girl already has? Come on. Okay, I gotta confess. In the future, I would not like to clean after my husband or boyfriend. I will clean my house if I live alone, but I'm not cleaning after someone that is somewhere cheating on me outside while I clean his clothes and dishes at home. Marriage is a scam. Think about it. I wish I had money so I could pay people for doing that to me. That's a very negative thought process to have about your future marriage. So you're already thinking in your mind, in your future marriage, that your man is out there cheating, so you will act accordingly based on what you assume that your future man is doing. All you're really doing, my dear, is manifesting that sort of life for yourself. If you in your heart believe that your man is going to be cheating up and down with you when you get married, that is what you're going to find when you get into marriage, which is not good. And then now you're basing your life on assumptions. And I think a lot of us women, including myself, need to be free from those things. Now, am I going to say every man is squeaky clean, good, not cheating? No, I'm not. Am I going to go into a marriage? We're talking about marriage here, not boyfriend. Am I going to be going into marriage with this ideology that my man is cheating on me and he's already cheating on me, so let me act all this accordingly and start? No, I feel like for me, I don't want to live my life in fear. I wouldn't want anyone in their relationship to live their life on fear. And if that's the case, just don't get married. I don't think marriage is by force. I don't think being married is by force. I actually don't even feel like in this day and age, being married as a woman is even beneficial. That beneficial. Anyways, as much as it used to be before, where it was like, okay, if you are married, that means that you're protected, your children are protected. I'm still trying to figure out the benefits currently. But yeah, if you think marriage is a scam, then just don't be married. A mother and content creator went viral after sharing that as a parent, she does have a favorite child. She states that she does have a favorite child, but she does not act on her favoritism because that will make her a bad mother. She says there's always one child that as a parent you will relate to more or have more care for in companion to the other kids.
As a mother or as a parent, actually, to multiple children, there's always a favorite child. But this is the thing, acting upon that favorism, then that is when you're a witch, because as a parent, you know not to do that. You know not to ever make one child feel superior than the other. That is witchcraft. But as a parent, I am speaking as a parent with multiple children, there's always favorites. And the reason why there's always favorites, or the reasons why there's always favorite children, is there's always that one child or two kids or three kids, or whichever amount of children you have. There's always that kid that cares, or that you can relate to a lot. Like, oh my God, this child is just like me when I was little. Or that child is extremely caring towards you and does not make you, because sometimes kids can make you feel less of yourself. Your children can make you feel less of yourself. Oh yeah, sometimes your children can, if you're not strong, your children will make you feel like you're the worst thing on earth. Yeah, your children can do that to you. But there's always that one child, or those two kids or three kids or whatever amount of children you have, that will make you feel good about yourself as a human. And because that...
Okay, shout out to her. What I do want to say is I was not a favorite child in my household. I wasn't a favorite child. In fact, I would like to say I was the black sheep of my family, but that's because I wasn't a people pleaser. And I found that those who were the favorite children, and I'm not going to say their names, in my family is because they were yes men. because they were yes men. Go and stand here, yes. Go and bow there, yes. Go and do this, yes. Even if it was at the extent of things that they did not agree with. And I've always been quite vocal in my family. Very vocal in my family. And if I didn't like something, if I didn't agree to something, I would say it. And that's what would make me be the disobedient black sheep. She doesn't listen. She stresses me out because I feel like I was so much like my mum. I don't believe what this woman is saying. I believe that the children who are more like their parents usually are the ones that get into sort of more disagreement with them, because my mom is a very strong woman. I was brought into this world as a strong black woman. My mom is a strong black woman. So, and my mom is a very opinionated, vocal, happy-go-lucky woman. I think I'm very, very similar to my mother. And with that, as much as we take the positives from our parents, we tend to take the negatives as well. And I'm very opinionated. My mother is very opinionated. So I opinionated the opinionator. She didn't like that. Now, did she? She didn't like that. And with that being said, guys, that is the end of Tea Time Tuesday. I love you guys so much. If you guys want to get involved in the show, please make sure that you dial up, you voice note, you call us up, okay? We're here for you, and the number is +44 793 313 9882, and that is on WhatsApp and iMessage, guys. Send us your voice notes, send us your confessions, send us your dilemmas. I love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, where I'm going to be talking about all the things that I've been watching. I need to talk about America's Next Top Model. I love you guys. Have a good day. Mwah.